This is me beating Hollow Knight for the first time, and this is my friend Mug. Now, a funny thing about Mug is that he is the final boss of unemployment. He has over 200 hours in this game, 112% completion on his save file, which I don't even know how that's possible, and all the achievements this game has to offer. He has literally beat this game more than 10 times, and he takes this game's lore very seriously. Me? I'm a simple man. Me play game bro. Lore? Tryharding? What am I? A sweat? It took me over a year to finish the game, and I'm definitely not Hollow Knight's greatest player. But Mug loves reminding me of that. For 3 hours actually, while I was beating the final boss.
You just blind. You're trash. You're just trash. You're so bad. Yeah, insane.
Yeah, Still, I killed the guy and got my ending. I was happy, but Mug wasn't. And people like him?
I mean, with all my help, did you really beat the game or did you just finish it?
They know how to get under your skin. So, to settle the beef, I made a deal. I would start over on a fresh save file with no help from him and get the true ending in under a week. This is the story of how I beat him to that bet and went above and beyond to prove him wrong. Because I decided to share my suffering on stream, which made this a saga about the dead internet theory, bots, misery, and somehow, friendship. But like every big story, this one starts with just one small step. We start from the very bottom, and please excuse the stream quality, I promise it gets better as we go. The plan was simple, to beat the game as fast as possible and get the highest completion percent I could. To do that, I would have to find charms, get powerful, become the strongest bug in Hollowness, and rush through the game. Bro, I can't even dash yet, bro. This game is so ass. And first upgrade on the list was the most fundamental upgrade in Hollow Knight, Vengeful Spirits. Not because Vengeful Spirit is a good spell, no, not at all, but because without Vengeful Spirit, it is literally impossible to progress through the game and get the upgrades I actually need. And it's all because of this guy. Okay, how do I get the soul thing again? But I can get to the City of Tears! Now, this game has been studied in and out for the past 8 years, and some people have found truly insane skips. What I realized I could do if I got the Vengeful Spirit is one of the most powerful ones, and it's called the Blue Lake skip. Pulling it off lets you rush the best area in the game, the City of Tears. However, to get Vengeful Spirit, we first had to kill the final boss of McDonald's, get imprisoned, and collect a charm as we escaped. So now we just go and do the Blue Lake skip, right? Well, not so fast there. Technically, I could do the skip now, but without the dash or roll-cling ability, it is insanely difficult. Therefore, the objective became getting the Mosswing Cloak, which gives you the dash ability. And believe me, we'll need it. But the journey to get it was not easy. I had to venture to Greenpath, one of the most annoying parts of the game, get lost. Bro, where am I? Fight this girl on just 2 HP and... This sound only plays when someone new messages in chat. This was my first chatter. My hero. My goat. The one. The only. Anyway, with the cloak, I was now able to perform the Blue Lake skip. No! Boom. 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 Or so I'd like to say. Okay, I'll just go for the claw. This is where the second most important upgrade in Hollow Knight comes in, the Wall-Cling ability, enabled by the Mantis Claw upgrade. And to get it, I would have to go to the Mantis Tribe. Quick work, really. But something unexpected happened on the way. Absolute cinema. Why haven't you added essentials to your channel? Or you should create a theme and concept for your channel that look more professional. I mean, I guess. But like, I will support you as a friend as you are a new streamer. Do you have a Discord? Yeah, I do, actually. Give me a second. I hate two-factor authentication. Can't even log in. Okay. Oh my god, dude. I literally can't log in, dude. You mind if I do that, like, after stream? I have to work on some projects, hopefully by the time I'm free. Your message will be there. Okay. See ya. Unfortunately, due to all the chatter, I got distracted and started mindlessly fighting the boss. After dying, like, 4 times, I went and entered the city through the Defender's Crest we got earlier. We'll get back to Blue Lake's Skip and why it's still important if you have claws and dash later. The City of Tears is composed of the left and right side, which I dubbed the Queen and King sides. They are separated by these gates here, both of which can only be opened on the King side. The actual OP loot of the city and pretty much everything important lies on the King side, and Blue Lake's Skip is valuable exactly because it allows you to enter the city through the King side, instead of requiring you to go through a lengthy detour via the royal waterways. So, back to attempting the skip it was. Through the game again. It took me over 20 minutes of mind-numbing repetition, but of course, like with anything, keep trying enough times, and you'll eventually succeed. Yes! Yes! Let's go! While I was on my way to the gondola to get down to the City of Tears, I decided to pick up the Dream Nail, an item that is the key to get the good ending, and one that I practically did not use at all on my first playthrough. Alright, time to sit down on a bench and save some progress. Oh! Just as I was about to relax, something incredible happened. Yo, what's up? Julia Grace. It's going alright. Your face doesn't really look like you're okay, lol. I'm just sad by default. I thought you were a new streamer and you've been streaming for 3 hours. You must be tired by now. Dude, yes, I am. Dude, have some coffee, you'll feel fresh. What games do you play besides this? Full-time streaming is the best idea. Well, I'm not sure about that. To become an affiliate, first you need 25 followers. When you have affiliate soon, my best wishes are with you. Oh, thanks, bro. If you ever open a Discord server, count me in. Would love to stay connected. You are single-handedly restoring my faith in humanity. So what, are you adding me or yes, send your friend request. I'd like to suggest something to you, Cal. Go ahead. I send it, dude. Discording your friend to wait. I think I'm just gonna take a break. I'm gonna go now. It was my first genuine chatter. They were so supportive, so of course I added them on Discord. Looking back, I feel like such an idiot. I've seen plenty of bots to stream alone, but for some reason, this time I thought it was different. And I know it's naive and stupid, but deep down, don't we all want someone who roots for us? That's why it hurts so much. First they love bomb you, smother you in compliments and nice things, take interest in your life, then some kind of flip switches and they start pressuring you, guilt tripping you to add them on Discord, to stop whatever you're doing and pay attention to them, just so they could sell you some slop or potentially just scam you outright. In just 3 short hours, my trust in people on this platform had vanished. I started seeing every new viewer as a potential scammer. And with that, the single best thing that this platform offered, connection, got poisoned. This is the stream where the grind began. Yesterday I streamed for just 3.5 hours. Today I streamed for over 8. The objective of the stream was simple: get powerful. Get as many upgrades, charms, and skills as possible. And I had the perfect plan for that. First, we killed the Soul Tyrant to get the Desolate Dive ability. Next, we use it in Kingdom's Edge to get a Quick Slash charm that doubles your attack speed. On the way back, we pick up a nail art that allows you to perform a dash and slash. Using the new charm, we mow down the Mantis Lords to get the Mark of Pride, a charm that significantly boosts your nail length. Yay! Mark of... This is the Mark of... What's going on? Mark of Pride, yes sir! Defeating Mantis Lords also opens a way into Deep Nest. There's really just one thing you want to get here this early in the game, and that's the Tramp Pass. The Tramp Pass connects the bottom 3 areas of the map, making them a lot more accessible in the future. With the Tramp Pass obtained, we are ready to face off the Broken Vessel. A boss so hard that on my first playthrough, no matter how many times I tried to beat him, I could not do it. It was a challenge so infuriating that on my first playthrough, I had to ask Mog to beat him for me. Yes! I know, I'm a disgrace. But that's why this time, we will pack him ourselves. Regardless, I took the Tramp Pass and got to the Ancient Basin, picked up a piece of pale ore to upgrade my nail, and with that, we were ready to slay the Broken Vessel.
Bro, I need the crystal dash. Yo! Okay.
Except I forgot that to cross this ravine, I first had to go to Crystal Peak. Now, the problem with that is...
I hate Crystal Peaks, I hate Crystal Peaks, I hate Crystal Peaks, I hate Crystal Peaks. I hate
There are a lot of unpleasant areas in Hollow Knight. You got Deep Nest, where everything tries to kill you. You got Queen's Gardens, where the environment tries to kill you. And then we got Crystal Peaks, where both the environment and the enemies try to kill you. Unlike Queen's Gardens though, you can access this nightmare mid-game. And if you make the rookie little mistake of benching, you are trapped here for the next 3 to 10 hours depending on how many times you will uninstall the game. I wish I was kidding when I say that on my first playthrough, this area made me uninstall the game not once, not twice, not thrice, but 4 times! You'll have a very basic set of movement, a low damage, and definitely very little game experience, but it will hit you with some of the most persistent, annoying hellspawn in the game. Unlike Deep Nest, it's not even cool. It's just there. Pair that with the fact that you genuinely have to go through some of the hardest platforming in the entire game just to get the Crystal Heart, to get the privilege of getting out of this place.
There is no worst area in Hollow Knight. They are all fantastic in their
Crystal Peaks always makes me want to drag my teeth across concrete.
Yes, there are areas with stronger enemies, with more difficult parkouring, with bad navigability, but this has all of that while being accessible mid-game. It is by far the worst area in the game, man. Fuck Crystal Peaks, fuck these guys, fuck the miners. 0 out of 10. Now, even though I'm not a big fan of Crystal Peaks, it turns out I got a lot better at the game since my last time here. So much so, in fact, that it was kind of a short adventure to get the Crystal Heart and get back to the real boss of today's stream.
Lock in, gang, lock in.
I will be the first one to say I was over-leveled for this fight, yet I was still struggling. But eventually, I persevered. With the Monarch Wings obtained, I decided to go straight for another boss that caused me to spend over 4 hours trying to beat him the first time around. The Rolling Knights. And this is exactly where Mug himself joined the stream.
Yes, you did miss the good part. Like, witness the greatest Hollow Knight playthrough of that section ever recorded. Please, betting that you won't beat them in the next 5 tries or I get banned, bro. You're actually about to get banned. You know what? To make you shake in your boots even more,
this right here is how I invented my go-to strat, and maybe the most underrated loadout in Hollow Knight, the Intercontinental Ballistic Nail, or ICBN. By combining the Mark of Pride with the long nail, your blade becomes so long you can practically reach any enemy without getting within their range of attack, thus resulting in a very reliable damage output in any situation. But the best thing? The invention of the ICBN was born out of pure spite for Mug. This combo would go on to accomplish so much more and destroy and cheese so many bosses.
Bro, any last words?
After celebrating my victory a bit, I killed one of the sleepers, essentially one of the locks that keeps the final boss at bay. Just 2 more and I will be able to face off Hollow Knight once more. But right now, I was on a roll, defeating some of the bosses that felt truly insurmountable to me on my first playthrough in just a couple of tries. I got so confident in my abilities to the point where I started making bets myself.
If I don't beat Hornet right now, this t-shirt right here, I'll take it off. Bro is threatening with indecent exposure.
Which, well...
No!
Gambling is bad, kids. To round things off, I decided to upgrade my nail one more time, which required pale ore. One I got from the Crystal Peak, and one I got from Seer, the grandma that gave us the dream nail. In just 8 hours, we went from a fairly weak pleb to a boss-destroying machine. I was rushing through the game and I was excited. I figured at this pace, I may as well go for a full 112% save file completion while I'm at it. But what goes up must go down. And this stream was a lot more depressing. It was only natural that I would want to become even stronger. And for a short while, it was as if everything was going well and smooth as butter. I got my money, bought another mask, sure, Beretta was getting a little freaky.
Did she sit down on this bench because she saw that the last time we were sitting at this bench actually? Bro, and she's blushing.
But things got a lot messier when I got down into the abyss.
What's up? 50 hours, I think, by now, surely. No, I don't really play any other game beside this. Thank you for asking.
In trying to respond to his barrage of superficial questions, I got distracted and died right before getting the most OP upgrade in the game, the Shadow Dash. And this guy didn't even respond to any questions I asked back. This was the final nail in the coffin.
It's like one guy with like 10,000 accounts, I swear to.
Finally, I got my upgrade and the bot left. But to my horror, someone worse came to do his place.
Yes, I know.
Regardless, I had to get 1800 essence. What is essence? I don't know, but you get it by killing a bunch of strong dead guys. With 1800 essence, I would be able to get Seer's next reward, and the fastest way to get more essence was to kill Zorax.
Okay, let's try taking you on.
Who was really easy, actually. So while I was there, I also got the Soul Eater charm and met a French woman.
Bro, is she French? I don't.
She wanted to give me a quest in the Queen's Gardens, but I couldn't accept it because I hadn't explored it yet. So that's exactly where I headed next. On the way there, I got the Glowing Womb charm, got the map of the Fog Canyon, and got another skill only spell losers use, before finally getting into the Queen's Gardens. Now, after you get the map of the area, you have to do this absolutely nasty parkour sequence to progress deeper into the Queen's Gardens and actually fill it in. This is where it all went south.
Something about the game that made me mad, like, you know, with the vines. And I remember that there is one here. Ooh.
This is what I meant when I said that the environment in Queen's Gardens tries to kill you. Honestly, I was so furious, I had zero intention of going back there. And another bot joining the stream did not help me cool down either, so I set out to 100% all of Greenpath. All I had to do was to collect a couple of charms, and hopefully unlock a new region where I'd face another dead guy. And it all goes well until...
If this isn't a chest with 1 billion geo, I'm actually quitting the game, dude.
I get humbled by 2 early game mini-bosses. And then they hit me with the best viewers at bitchass.com. Now, going around these hellish regions, dying for some stupid reason and going back there just to die again made me so angry that I decided to quit there and then.
You know what, give me a second. This guy right here. If I die one more time, I will kill the yellow Among Us. He will no longer be available in the game. I will kill him. Okay, he will be streaming, actually. I'll give him one chance at beating the game for me. Alright, so what we want to do here actually is open the map and check where that guy died. Now what we're gonna do then is go there actually. Oh no, there's a guy here. But luckily I defeated him because he ain't. Oh guys, sorry. Finally, I killed the 2 early game mini-bosses, got a mid-ass charm, and unlocked the Howling Cliffs. Now, Howling Cliffs is a dead area where nothing ever happens and there's nothing to do except get another nail art, kill Glorb, yes Glorb, that's his name, Glorb, and apparently invite a demonic clown cult to visit Dirtmouth. Anyway, to 100% Greenpath and never ever return again, I picked up my last nail art and went on a torturous journey to get my last charm. Thorns of Agony, thanks. Now, to make use of the charms we've unlocked, we need more notches that they take up. One way to get notches was to buy them directly at Salubra's charm shop. However, another way to get a notch was to go through an explosive labyrinth in the Fog Canyon invented by Satan himself. And that might as well have been the most rage-inducing experience I've had in any video game ever. Here's a visual representation of how it felt playing that section. Oh, chill, please. Next game. Thanks. The wheels on the bus go round and round. Oh. At last I got the notch, but at what cost? Go swish, swish, swish. I decided to finish this stream with a bang, and after killing everyone's least favorite boss, I reached the second sleeper, leaving me with just one more seal to break before I could face the final boss. Despite the mental torment this stream brought, we still made a bit of progress, and hey, at least the stream quality got nice. Surely tomorrow won't be this painful as well, right? Right? Can you hear me? You can hear me, alright, that's great, that's fantastic. Now we just gotta figure out the camera solution. Oh my god, dude, the camera is so annoying. Alright, let's go destroy Queen's Gardens. Let me check. We need to get the Spell Twister, as well as the Desolate Dive. Bro, Flare Horga, what the hell? Not even 5 minutes into the stream, and I'm already getting bots. The dead internet theory is so real. We weren't off to a very strong start as is, and then I got a call. And while I was gone, like a fit of explosive diarrhea, Mug decided to appear at the worst possible time. Anyway, I went to the shop to get the Nail Sage's Blessing, a charm that enhances the nail arts we've learned, and one you will never catch me using, because it's a D-tier charm. We weren't off to a very strong start, but it was time to get some action, and with the help of the magic 8-ball, it was decided that I had to finish mapping out Queen's Gardens. Now, you may ask me, if Queen's Gardens is such an unpleasant area, why not just ignore it? Well, we need Queen's Gardens for 2 reasons. The first reason is of course to accept the French lady's quest, but the second and much more important reason is to meet the White Lady, an NPC you have to interact with to get the good ending. Fortunately, the Queen's Gardens is where the ICBN came in clutch. All types of enemies, flying, crawling, jumping, it cut through all of them, and it was especially good at killing this beach ball who guarded the stag station. After successfully connecting this area to the stag network, I headed for the White Lady. Of course, nothing in Hollow Knight is easy to obtain, so guarding the White Lady was one of the worst bosses in the entire game. Crater Lord. God, I hate this guy. Why? His attacks deal twice the damage, he punishes you for getting up close, you can't pogo off him, and he does this stupid flying attack at the worst possible times. And after just one unsuccessful attempt, I already knew that I would have to come up with some kind of strategy. Okay, I think I got it. So this is what I'm thinking right now. I feel like this might be the strat, guys. Can you see it?
Eventually, my brilliance came up with a punishment. Holding in water in my mouth until I killed the Traitor Lord. Sounds easy? You try doing that for 5 minutes. Let's see how well you do. Come on, do it. Try. But suddenly, I realized something. An idea of pure genius. I could cheese this guy if I just stuck near a wall. Brother, I kid you not, I got rage baited so hard right here for being called out. Eventually, of course, I executed my strategy perfectly.
That was literally first try, guys.
Now, while the fight with the Traitor Lord is pretty nasty, I mean, look at this guy, the reward you get is pretty sweet, because this is where we get to meet the White Lady. Who is this White Lady, you may ask? Well, the lore of Hollow Knight goes deep, and it's about time that I explain what has happened in the game so far, and why Mug considered the previous ending lacking. So bear with me for a second as I explain everything. The founder of the kingdom we're traversing, the Pale King, had 2 wives. White Lady is one of them. The White Lady helped the Pale King create vessels. The vessels are essentially children of the Pale King and the White Lady, but they draw their life force from the Void Sea all the way at the bottom of the kingdom. Therefore, they are not truly sentient. They have no will to break, no mind to think, and no voice to cry suffering. That's why their fate is to contain the disease that has been ravaging Hollow Nest. We are one of the thousands of vessels from the bottom of the abyss. The moral cost of creating so many vessels and discarding them was taking its toll on the White Lady, and so she has bound herself here as a form of punishment. When we approach her, she gives us a fragment of a charm called King Soul. What used to be a symbol of the union between her and the king, now forever fractured, the 2 parts of the whole tucked away on opposite sides of the kingdom, as both hide far from everyone's sight. There was just one thing left to do in the Queen's Gardens, and that's getting the love key.
We get the love key?
We can use this love key to access the Goon House. Getting there is a long track filled with many obstacles and annoying enemies. But after getting there, you are faced with a strange ambience.
Yo, what the fuck is this? Freak Knight! Oh my god, bro. Get on.
This is where we fight the Collector. On the surface level, he seems like an easy boss. That's what I thought as well. The thing is, he is super erratic, so you don't get a lot of breathing space to heal. And more annoying than the fight itself is the trek back. Eventually, somewhere along the line, I realized the music was off.
It's all kids! All the bugs are kids! Nah, bro, I'm defeating you for real, though. Oh my god! Yo, you're so annoying!
Honestly, by this point, I was starting to get exhausted.
That's it.
Things just weren't going great. I was not able to keep up the pace of progression of the second stream. And for some reason, there were more and more bots and scammers with each stream. While the only thing I'm doing is sitting alone in a room, doing some stupid challenges that drive me mad. And I thought this would be the experience until the very end. It's not like the stream's content was much better either, just a series of repeating objectives. One of those objectives was to get the pale ore from a certain boss. By now, I had gotten quite skilled, but I must admit, I was definitely struggling with Nosk a little, and Mug, of course, wasn't helping.
Important Nosk warning. Hey, what's up? Kinda bored and decided to pop in a Hollow Knight stream. How's it going? Okay, where not? Deepness, the worst area, and it's not that bad, honestly. I feel like,
Crystal Peaks. Crystal Peaks definitely a lot worse. Maybe even Queen's Gardens. Yeah, Queen's Gardens.
This was where I started to suspect this guy might be different. He actually talks about the game. Hold up. He might be cerebral.
Admittedly, it's my like third try trying to beat him. Yo, I might have a strategy for this.
This was a real
Here's
person.
my strategy.
A real
right
Hollow
here.
Knight player.
Destroy
That's
him.
right, ladies and gentlemen. This was my first chatter. A real chatter. I could not believe my eyes. And this little exchange was all it took to make all the days of hard work, all the bots I had to deal with, so worth it. This guy even gave me a strat on how I could beat this guy, and wouldn't you know it, using it, I was able to kill Nosk in no time and get my pale ore. For 4 days now, I had experienced scammers, shady selling tactics, and bots, but 5 days in, this was finally about to change. Genuinely, Powerflow 23 is the GOAT! And as this video goes on, you will learn why. At first, we were gonna ban the guy. Mug even told me that once he saw Heya appear in the chat, he typed out /ban Pyroflow23 in the message box.
I'd get Quick Slash instead of Long Nail because Mark of Pride already does a lot. It's worth it. Okay.
To test out the build Pyroflow suggested, we would have to find a bench, and the nearest one happened to be in the distant village, a settlement above a huge chasm where if you fall down...
No! I literally first tried Crystal Peaks like on third try, literally. Alright guys, that was a very fun stream. I hope you all enjoyed watching it. I think this is gonna Yo! Oh my god! How?
But finally, I had made my way to the only bench in town.
Is this the only tourist attraction in the entirety of Hidden Village? Charms? Hello? Bro, Yo, Yo, what you guys doing? Come on, girl, 5 guys. I'm demoting you.
This is where we enter the Mr. Beast's den.
I'm about to find $1 million somewhere in here.
I know I've discussed many areas already, but this one is the most disorientating. And the only way out was to kill Hera the Beast, the last sleeper. Having killed Hera, we have officially undone all 3 seals holding the Hollow Knight. We can now safely enter the temple where he is suspended. But who was Hera? Well, first, we need to understand what's wrong with Deepnest. Seeing as Deepnest is uniquely separated from the rest of Hallownest by huge metal doors and broken tramways, it's clear that the bugs of Deepnest actively opposed being joined into the kingdom. I mean, they aren't even bugs, they're spiders. And since Hera lied on the pedestal atop the village, it's safe to assume that she was a ruler, the Queen of Deepnest. Well, Hera was a Queen of Deepnest, but the lore goes so much deeper than just that. This is the line that reveals it all. Hornet is the daughter of the Pale King and his second wife, Hera. Hornet is your sister. Although to her, you're simply a Pale King's offspring. One of thousands. This little crumb of information supercharged my faith in this game's world building. Everything we've seen up until now suddenly falling into place. There was just one thing that remained to be done. Put a local dead guy to rest and never return here. This is where we decided to head for the Hive, a small sub-region in Kingdom's Edge with a completely unique set of enemies.
I just want to point out that these beasts are 100% here for the speedrunners. For sure, they gotta be. And you already missed the entrance? Why am I getting flamed? I just got here. Oh, I see. The Hive was honestly more of a checkmark, as it was simply a lot of grinding and trying to not get vaporized by the bees. But I finally equipped Pyro's loadout, saved a grub, and died to the Hive Knight. Twice. So I switched back to the ICBN, the Supreme Hollow Knight build. And with another mask acquired, the Hive Knight was cooked. Now, having completed almost everything in Kingdom's Edge, I headed for the City of Tears just to 100% it, starting off with the Shade Soul, and moving on to Diddy. This guy had to go.
Damn, quick slash would go so hard right now.
But the reward for killing the Collector was so much better than any internal satisfaction. It was a map of all the grubs in the entirety of Hallownest. Right away, I put that map to good use. Though nothing good lasts forever, and as soon as Pyro got going, wouldn't you know it? Of course, bots started flooding the chat. Well, at least I managed to save the last grub from the City of Tears, thus finally 100%ing the area. Yet another item off the list. After some goofing around,
Bro!
I ended the stream feeling exhilarated. The first time since starting this challenge. This was the best day of the whole challenge. Frankly, Pyro had restored my faith in what I was doing, and having someone around while you do silly stuff made it so much more fun. This was the longest stream on record, but more importantly than that, this was the most fun one. The White Palace. It's an area of the game not everyone gets to see. Hell, if it wasn't for this challenge, I would have probably never visited it either. Because to get to White Palace, I need to get inside of this guy. And to do that, I need to upgrade my Dream Nail, which takes 1800 essence. And that's quite a challenge on its own, because killing all the Dream Warriors doesn't give you enough essence. And the only way to get enough is to fight stronger versions of the bosses you have already defeated. One of them being the Soul Tyrant. And this motherfucker builds straight up like a brick house from the Three Little Pigs. Seriously, this guy has so much HP that I just started yabbing about stuff.
Bro, orb. Opening of the orb is goated. The anime itself, I don't know, kind of boring. I think it's a little overrated, if I'm being real with you.
The reward was worth it though. A whopping 300 essence. However, after banning yet another bot, I got sidetracked, and instead of getting the last bits of essence, I headed to the Colosseum of Fools. Now, in the Colosseum of Fools, you pay some geo to participate, write your name on the board, and enter the arena to see if you're strong enough for the reward. The first trial was so easy, I could probably do it blindfolded. This is how difficult it is. So, I signed up for the second trial right away, and sure, it was definitely a slight difficulty bump, but overall, it was still fairly easy. I got through it without much problem on my second attempt. So really, not that much more difficult. And like a true gambler, I signed up for the third trial. I mean, how difficult can it be? Very difficult. Very, very difficult. There is a reason this place is called the Colosseum of Fools, and the reason is the third trial. It is literally called the Trial of the Fool. Oh my god. Now, going into the third trial, I kind of expected the difficulty to be somewhere around here, maybe here. I shit you not, this is how difficult it is compared to the others. Seriously, I think it took me over 100 attempts, over multiple streams, just to beat this one challenge. Mostly because of this section. This 3-minute torture where you have literally no ground to stand on and heal. This column of doom was probably the cause of 80% of my deaths. And in true vulture fashion, Mug of course decided to come at this exact moment, only to propose using spells. Then, a beam of light. Pyroflow23 himself joined the chat, but as it turned out, he was simply stopping by to tell us that he's gone on a trip and probably won't be joining streams for a while. Well, at least he understood the importance of sticking to the nail-only playstyle. Unable to make any progress, I decided to get back to the Colosseum of Fools later on. For now, a different tear-jerking challenge awaited me. As I already explained, the only way for me to get enough Dream Essence right now is to go back and kill the much harder versions of bosses we already killed. We have already killed the Soul Tyrant, and the next one on the chopping block was the False Knight. Now, False Knight is the first boss you will kill in this game, so really, how hard could an improved version of the earliest boss be?
I will destroy this man this instant! Way too thick for that, literally.
Well, it turns out,
I swear I'm f***ing dashing, you fat ass piece of
very hard.
And that's it. No cheesing required.
Finally, I had gathered 1800 essence, enough to awaken my dream nail and enter the White Palace. Now, White Palace is maybe the most challenging area in Hollow Knight. It consists of 3 separate platforming courses, 2 of which activate a lantern to access the last one, but each of those tracks is filled with deadly contraptions, killing machines, nutty putty ass tunnels, tight timing, and jumping on jigsaws. Suffice to say, getting to the Pale King was not going to be an easy task. The first light source is activated without much effort. Now, White Palace isn't easy. The platforming is way more advanced than anything up to this point, but so were my skills. Only one more lantern to go. Another light source activated. We can now access the last and hardest platforming course, which will take us to the Pale King. Finally, after all that work, I was able to ascend to the King of Hallownest himself.
Yeah, the Veiled King is kind of small.
Or rather, what remained of him. Having met both of our creators, we restored the King Soul. The King Soul is a very unique and interesting charm, as it slowly fills up your soul meter. Though much more interesting than its utility still is its description. Opens the way to a birthplace. A place where we would face the one final truth about us and this kingdom.
Oh my god. How many babies did you make? Huh. Dude, and the sound is distorted?
Like a tree sapling with a scar, we can still grow. The scar won't become smaller, but we can make it a lesser part of us. And one of the most important tasks right now was to complete the Wretched Flower quest. The task is simple. Bring this flower to a grave in Queen's Gardens without taking any damage or riding the stag. Simple, but far from easy.
Wait, here?
After the complete mental health crisis of the French lady, I needed something to wind down. Something to take my mind off rage-inducing things.
Let's try the Colosseum of Fools.
Unfortunately, I was so full of rage I was ready to vaporize anything upon contact with my hands, so I decided it's best to leave it for tomorrow.
Let's destroy the Colosseum of Fools. This dirty bastard. Yo, you cannot keep getting away with this! Yo, literally, how am I supposed to deal with that though? Even the night.
Eventually, I decided to play around with the loadout a little bit, but I just kept having the same problem with the healing animation. See, after the healing sequence, there are a couple of frames where the knight stands back up and receives no input. So for a short period, you're low-key just standing there like a dumbass and you can't do anything about it. This caused me to crash out so much.
Bro, please jump after you heal. What? Please jump after you heal, you dumb. Let me heal, let me heal, let me heal. Jump, jump! You.
Eventually, against all odds, I made it past the Column of Doom, only for the game to hit me with this. Now these guys aren't strong, but by now the last of my brain cells were shutting off.
Okay, and I'm restricted to just this area. Very cool, okay. Who the fuck is this girl?
But no challenge withstands the crushing pressure of simply trying over and over.
Yes! Let's go! Let's go! Destroy Colosseum of Fools, we did it.
This is where I realized I should probably buff up before facing some of the strongest bosses in the entire game. I upgraded my nail and bought some charms. These charms make you stronger or add more HP but will break after death. However, there is a way to make them unbreakable. See, a couple of streams ago, Pyra and Mug told me that if I give them to a certain person, they would fix them. However, it would also require 15,000 geo. And after 30 agonizing minutes of mindless repetition and selling off all my possessions to the pawn shop,
Okay, that's disgusting.
I got unbreakable strength. With that, I was finally ready to face off Hollow Knight once more. And oh my god, Mug was right. This guy is a complete and utter pushover. Maybe I really was kinda bad. I got him down to the last stage no problem, and that's where something peculiar happened. Unfortunately, I got hit with a low IQ roll out of nowhere, so instead of clearly just dream nailing the guy when he's emitting the white essence and he's literally not moving and his head is facing me, I just... So I used Alt F4 to try again. This time, I actually dream nailed the guy.
Oh, I knew what I need to do. Oh my god, no way. We actually about to kill the disease. Oh my god, we about to kill God. We about to kill the disease itself. Oh my god. Dude, this is insane. This is a moment in history. The Radiance. I don't get the Shadow Dash. I do not understand how it works. I was like literally right there. I was dashing. Honestly, not even that difficult. Very doable. More things are gonna spawn. You know what I mean? Wow! How does this thing work? Yo! Whoa! What? Dude, I'm doing insane damage to him right now.
That's right, in the final moments of the challenge, a new viewer joined my stream. But I died again, so it was time to pull out the old reliable ICBN.
Okay, let's go full stink strat.
Time to kill Radiance.
That was close. Boom, boom, boom. Yo, Radiance, you're trash! Oh my god, this guy is trash! Yo, get destroyed! So we can... Yo, you can pogo off Radiance. This game is peak. This game is ass. This game is trash, actually. Please, no! Please, let me kill Radiance, please! Bro, ain't no way this guy actually killed all of Hallowness. No way. Yo! I gotta go up! Oh my god. And the Hollow Knight? Oh, yo, no way. No way. Yeah, I'm gonna whoop your ass, bro. But bad Radiance. Bad Radiance.
Well, we completed our task. We beat Hollow Knight, killed Radiance without much effort, and proved that we can game hard. But something still felt off. Like there was something lacking. Maybe if I went for a full completion, that feeling would be gone. And so, to truly prove myself, I had to go for the 112%, well actually 108% completion. Because I didn't want to do Pantheons, which are essentially just a boss rush. Kind of like Colosseum of Fools, but for those without a life. Now, I've already made big steps toward that goal by completely exploring certain areas. However, it turns out I missed a lot of grubs, which count toward the completion percentage. Unfortunately, that meant I would have to return to Crystal Peak and collect all the remaining charms and grubs.
Let's get you out, my man. Alright, I see. Okay.
Now I just had the minor task of collecting 7 or so grubs scattered across the map. Easy work.
Let's get it done. Onto this wall. Oh, it heals 2 whole. Yeah. Risk. Boom. Boom. And that is the last grub.
The Grub Father rewarded our efforts with a charm that could never top the glory of the ICBN. And with the base game nearly 100%ed, I move on to the DLCs. One of them is the Clown Town right outside of Dirtmouth I accidentally summoned all the way back. Well, little did I know, getting 108% would require killing one of the hardest bosses in the entire game. But before we get to that, we first have to collect flames by killing these guys. Lots of them. So we get all our flames and we bring them to the troop leader, Grim, only to find out this guy is out to kill us.
We go full defensive, I guess. Oh, this might be hard. In
times of desperation, 2 things were proven to guarantee success: the ICBN and the guidance of the wise magic 8-ball.
Will it take me 5 tries at max to beat that guy?
And that's all I needed to crush Grim. But of course, nothing in this game can be simple. So for some reason, I still had to go and get more flames, except this time, these guys hit the gym.
Okay.
Finally, I collected all the flames and faced off with the nightmare version of Grim. Maybe the hardest boss I've faced off in this game. He's like his regular self, but on battery acid.
Are you wishing him good luck?
What you're witnessing right here is man's descent into madness. For the next 4 hours of my life, I will be stuck right here trying to defeat this one boss. Luckily, having real people watching and supporting me kept me going.
Walked too fast. Okay. Okay, he has a hitbox as well. Oh my god, this fast.
Eventually, the man, the myth, the legend, PyroFlow23 himself joined the chat. Mind you, the last time he joined, I didn't even enter the White Palace. I was still stuck on the Colosseum of Fools.
What I miss? Not really much. I defeated Hollow Knight, killed Radiance, rescued all the grubs. Yeah, that's about it.
Bro, I still feel so bad for Pyro. But the craziest thing is, while I was struggling to beat Grim, yet another person joined the stream. Turns out he just defeated the Nightmare King Grim and wanted to share some advice. There were 3 people somewhere out there trying to help out someone they never met. It's kind of like having friends on the couch hype you up as you play a game. Unfortunately, despite implementing all the helpful advice, I just couldn't beat him. My latest chatter gave me some advice, talked for a bit, and then left. Mug took his place, and as I was struggling to beat Grim, something incredible started to happen. All these people in the chat started talking to each other, Pyro, Catherine, and Mug himself discussing their struggles and strategy. Pyro himself even started fighting Grim on his own PC to clean off the rust he's built up not playing the game for a while. We turned it into a sort of competition of who would kill him first, me or him. But no matter how hard I tried, I just could not get past him. It was taking so long, people started to leave. And after a couple more tries, I too decided to quit.
Okay, I think that's gonna be it for today. I don't think I can do it today. Alright, thanks for sticking around though. Really appreciate it.
The objective was simple. Take down the Nightmare King Grim and get the last couple of charms to get the 108% completion.
Let's do it, bro. I'm actually so ready. Bro, I am so ready. We're gonna smoke this guy.
Little did I know, it would take over 5 hours.
Yo, what's up, Catherine? Yo, what's up, my man? What's up? What's good?
But slowly, run after run,
Mock strat.
I was getting just a little bit better.
Bro, yo, I'm actually done.
Until suddenly, it clicked. Catherine once told me that this boss was more of a dance, and it finally made sense. This really wasn't a fight, it was a dance. The solution was simple, not some strategy, not some charm loadout, just some groovy music and pure vibes.
Boom, boom. Yo, get trashed!
That's all it took to beat.
First try. I defeated this guy first try, bro.
And of course, Pyro had to come in with the best timing. Bro, this guy is not real. He misses all the canon events of the challenge. Somehow, even more people joined my stream right at the end of the challenge. Meet Gothic Girl 2. Nope, she's actually a spammer. A very entitled spammer.
Shut your
With Grim down, it was just a matter of collecting a couple of charms and a bit of essence to finally complete the challenge. Which is why Catherine and Pyro combined forces to try and convince me to start the cancer that is Pantheons. On our target were 3 different charms. To get the first one, we would have to defeat yet another boss.
Fluke Nest. Okay, that's 1 out of 3 charms. Like a coon chained with a simple lock.
This is God Tuner, the item that allows you to enter the Pantheon and challenge the gods of Hallownest. It is this exact challenge that I avoid like the plague, and despite the manipulation of the chat, I was not gonna be swayed easily. Instead, I went straight for the Lost Kin, the buffed version of the Broken Vessel. And to be honest, I was a little nervous about it. If Catherine struggled with this guy and she found the Broken Vessel easy, just how much time is it gonna take me? Well, having defeated the literal manifestation of the plague that took over Hallownest and the clown, it turns out not that difficult.
It's his stupid things. Bro, is this it? Is this really it?
Just 3 tries. That's how many attempts it took me. Someone who struggled with the easier version of this boss so much, he had resorted to cowardice. If nothing else, this was all the proof I needed to know that I became a much better Hollow Knight player. More than killing the final boss, more than killing the hardest boss, this was my sign that I had finally beaten Hollow Knight. The only thing that stood between me and 108% completion were just 2 charms and 1 last boss. Though, to get one of those charms, I had to fulfill an unusual requirement.
Okay, so that's Lifeblood 4.
and the other charm was stored within the heart of Deepest.
Okay. Weaver Song. Okay, what does it do?
It was just one boss that stood between me and finally completing the game. He wasn't the hardest, he wasn't the most significant, but without a doubt in my mind, he was the best one.
We'll all meet again. I promise it. He even made the statues of them here.
Finally, I gathered enough essence for Seer's last request, and after meeting her to collect the last reward, we learned more about Radiance. Radiance wasn't some kind of alien disease, but a forgotten god. A god worshipped and adored before the coming of the Pale King. And as the Pale King established his empire, Radiance slowly faded into obscurity, until one day, it decided to unleash its fury on Hallownest by spreading the disease.
Radiance. I remember you. $108%. That's literally all of Hollow Knight. There's nothing left to explore. Absolutely nothing.
And with that, the challenge was finally over. Looking back, it started off as something pretty silly, just trying to prove myself, and for what? Along the way, I was manipulated by scammers and harassed by bots, but most of the time I spent in quiet solitude, just talking to myself. Yet somehow, by the end of it all, I felt a sense of community with a couple of real people somewhere out there who decided to give me a chance. I mean, come on, they even asked me what game I was gonna stream next. It's just, aww. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in to this disaster of streams. You have no idea how much that meant to me. Realizing Pyro is a real person who found my streams somewhat interesting, Catherine joining right at the very end to help me out with Radiance, getting Monk to make some friends in chat while I desperately try and fail to beat NKG. It might sound a little corny, but I think I'll remember these moments. And to whoever's watching this, thank you so much for watching till the end. I know it was a hard video to get through, and while I know there are many things I could have improved here, I just felt the need to push this project out and move on to making new memories. After all, I've kept these guys waiting without any streams for over 2 months now. Thank you for watching, and until next time. Except, do you really think I would have stopped at 108%? Just because Pantheons would grind my life to a halt? So 20 days after beating the challenge, I successfully swept through the 4 Pantheons before celebrating the release of Silksong and being one of the first people to play it, which you can check out now if you go to twitch.tv/40but better.